Whoa, now, what's happening with it, world? It's your man's and them, the Toothless Wonder, reporting on the Bamboozle Gang News Network, where 4 score and 7 years ago, Negroes got bamboozled, and probably prior to that, and it ain't never stopped. It's whatever. Bobby knows something. I don't even got no talking point or none of that. I'm going to just hop on this joint and just talk, and then just figure out what I'm going to call it after I'm done with it. I called the ex Kansas City running back Larry Johnson. He had a way back in the day. I remember who he is. He was actually on the Jason Whitlock sports podcast, and he was talking about his time because he did a deal with Rockaware. Yeah, Rockaware. Jay-Z and them, whatever. And he was just detailing his short-lived business experience. As far as that goes. But he was still kind of in the world, and now he's evolved. He understands his identity. You know what I mean? So I guess Jason Whitlock asked him, like, well, why are you coming forward? And then he tells this story about they might have been grooming him because he said they was at a little shing-ding or whatever you want to call it. And whereas though, like 11 o'clock, a whole bunch of kids just come in and they just starting to get sauced up and, the tunes on. He said he personally was sitting, in the section. And Beyonce was talking to the little girl and said, do you think my outfit's sexy? So, he kind of in the whirlwind, but he like, they said the drink took over, so he left. So it probably meant, oh, you ain't trying to get down with the get down or whatever. But he said, well, this has been all these years ago, like, why are you saying this now? He said, based on, what I believe and what I stand for, we're diametrically opposed. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the crux of my issue with the world in general. What I stand for and what the world at large stand for, we're diametrically opposed. Light can't commune with dark. The line and the sign has been drawn. I don't, not just the world in a spiritual sense, the world that operate in its belief systems, its values, none of that, B. You know what I'm saying? And as I noticed, there are some things, I guess in the world, I forgot what, in the Old Testament where it says the things that the Most High despise. Now, be honest, yo, I despise the spewer of falsehood. That's why I noticed, like, I just stopped watching the news. Like, I didn't have a conscious thought to stop doing that. I just lost the desire to stop looking at the news and then kind of went more towards social media or whatever the case may be. And then later on come to discover, like Malcolm X said, how the media is used to, influence, program, change belief systems, so on and so forth. You got to figure, let's say this, we're on the precipice of 2025. Let's say 20 years ago, what's on TV and play on your radio would have been unheard of. So they had to slow cook us into it. The theory of incrementalism, or the frog and the boiling water scientific theory, which says, you got a frog in a pot, right? And you heat the water up, turn it up to blast. The frog gonna be like, oh, snap, and hop out. But if you put him in room temperature water and slowly turn up the heat, he won't be able to recognize the change. He'll never hop out, and he'll actually cook because he can't detect the slow incremental heat rising. It's the same premise they done levied on society. They slowly eroding belief systems. So much so now, people forgot what they used to believe or what they used to stand on. Now everything is very ship jumpy, if that's what I want to call it. You know what I mean? Like French, like the things that used to be good, like how they say, woe to them that call good evil and evil good. It's so crazy now, whereas though positive things have now gotten a bad asterisk or a scarlet letter. Like if you think about it, friendship, just the definition of friendship in and of itself is a beautiful thing. But now everyone is claiming that they don't want friends because their friends, quote unquote, did them wrong. Well, typically your friend isn't going to do you wrong by definition of the letter of the explanation. You see what I'm saying? Or I don't want no love, or whatever the case may be. Yes, you do. That's a human component. You see them, but how they flip-flopped everything here. Now love has got a bad reputation. When more oftentimes than not, granted, we might have not been as evolved as we are now, or awakened. But nobody says F. You don't see nobody on no podcast, for the most part, say F lust. We just try to lust in the best way possible to not have the detriment come back on us. You see what I'm saying? Business is now, like, business should be, like anything else, it should be mutually beneficial. But now if you notice, when you get into business or do business with a corporation, typically it's one-sided. And if you're attempting to do sound business, those ethics that you have will put you in a deficient position in business unless you're as cutthroat as everybody else. In society, for the most part, at large. You understand me? I'm just patiently waiting for the gathering at this point. Because ain't no whole lot to look forward to out here with the government. They can barely, keep the doors open, and they got to do these last minute deals just to fund the government another 3 months. You see what I'm saying? It's so wacky tacky. You got a country that, according to them, is, let's say, 36 trillion in debt, giving you a credit score. The hypocrisy of democracy is a hell of a drug. You know what I'm saying? And it's a hell of a reality to live in, where don't nothing make no sense if you say that, right? But then the mass majority of people will label you crazy. But these are the people who got the jab Babylon. You see what I'm saying? It's mad wild out here, big. That's why I love the country living, cat, so I can exhale and exfoliate thine self. You know what I mean? Nice old country drive, clear the mind and the spirit. And in reality, I noticed this too. I go through spiritual heaviness at max like 3 days. So like the last 3 days, just kind of, I don't feel like talking, got a little bad I don't put it on nobody. I got bad little attitude, like, what are we looking at? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on one, right? But then after that, it lifts, and then I remember, I don't even care. And not saying that because it sound good or it sound tough. I really don't care. And I can show you how much I don't care. Watch this, I'm gone. I ain't finna explain to you something you ain't trying to understand no way. You see what I'm saying? What I look like, explaining myself to you. You know what I mean? Like that time the woman who was sniffing coke at the job at a rehab tried to tell me what I need to do with my time. But that's what you do with yours. You're not even qualified, not even no egotistical sense. You're not even qualified to even speak to me. You know what I mean? You couldn't dare hold up a half a day of what I deal with spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Trying to tell me what to, that's another thing, Joe. The stupid and the uninformed masquerade like they're gurus of any particular topic. You know what I'm saying? And now, see, I'm a guru, but I'm a guru of telling you what not to do. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, like, I noticed, like, let's say these dating or podcasts or whatever, trying to tell you how to have success in dating, but they themselves aren't in a harmonious relationship. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I seen the one dude, I forgot his name, but he got this talking point about not messing with single mothers or something like that, and they're all terrible and bad and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. It's a black dude, and he's with a white woman who's a single mama. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say the internet farm receipt bull. The internet solved the crime for the police. Police ain't even got to do nothing. They can just scroll social media. You know what I mean? How's you a good, like the Derek Waxman man? You know what I mean? That's what I like calling. What did he say one time? It was a parody, but he was like, man, if you ain't got 24 inches worth of meat and you can't make your woman bust, you know what I'm saying? You're a terrible man. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? If you can't afford a spaceship ride to Mars, you don't need to date. No, let's hear it, right? And the women clapping like seals. And then all the stuff he said not to do, or what type of man you ain't supposed to be, he was all that and then some. Where he at now? Bamboozled again. How I say in the word? The deceiver deceives and then goes out themselves being deceived in and of themselves. And they all over social media, boy. Sometimes I just watch, I don't really pay attention to it, but sometimes I watch just so I can trip off of it. Like when I'm in a light space like that, like I just listen to brothers who lying and trip off these Negroes. That's what they're there for me to trip up off of. Now, in my spiritual heaviness, it'll make me mad, like, not even so much, I don't really care nothing about no fame or notoriety or nothing like that. But it do make me mad when everybody listens to the Bamboozler. And you know they lying, but they tell you the lie you want to hear. Technically, I used to do like drunken social experiments at the bar. Never followed through on it or nothing. But I said I'm gonna go ahead and I realized this too. If I believe something, I can make you believe it. So I go in the bar and just tell the most fantastic lies known to man. And they will believe it. But I notice, like in my sobriety, I tell people the truth and they look like a darn headlight. They either don't believe me or can't believe I was bold enough to say something like that matter of factly. You know what I'm saying? They say, what is that? Real is rare and fake is everywhere. Good God of mercy. And then just intellectually and spiritually understanding that when I encounter people or have short, casual, cordial conversations, I already know you of the world for the most part. And here's why I know, because I can't smell it on you. I can't smell any struggle towards the Most High on you. I can't feel it off your spirit. You know how they say real recognize real? I think that applies also spiritually. That's why I was never, even when I was younger, I never understood the pastor man. Like, I wasn't feeling him. Yeah, it sounds good, but I don't feel none of that. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to these old school testimony services, whereas though like the church in the storefront, and that joint might start 7:00, and we'll get out after the Elks and the American Legion. You know what I'm talking about? With maybe a handful of people in the church. Man, they used to have that holy oil, and where they sing the song for about 20 minutes and sing the last chorus 4 times. You know what I mean? And then everybody get to catching the ghost, as they say, and fall out on the floor, and then they got to put the blanket over top of them and all that. I used to think something was wrong with me. I'm like, why I can't fall out? I want to fall out too. I want, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm supposed to fall out. I would even try, like, maybe if he pushed my forehead a little bit, I'm going to just go ahead and take the dump. You know what I mean? Could never do it, though. I thought something was wrong with me, Even when I was younger, I just wasn't feeling social group and social hierarchies. I don't have no problem following leadership. You know what I'm saying? Because like every job I've ever had, I ain't never been fired. I always quit. And not only that, every job I done quit, they've hired me back. Then I quit on them again. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I might have been in addiction or whatever the case may be. I remember one time, I'm just on here talking. I had walked to work and told them I wasn't working. Because I had some issues that I had to go look for some Negroes and get some understanding understood. So I didn't feel like calling them. I walked all the way to work and told, they was like, I get that, they start talking about what needed to be. I was like, oh, nah, I just want to tell y'all I can't work today. And I guess I messed them up. I do things a little unorthodox. You come all the way to work to tell us you're not working, to turn around and leave right back out the door. You come back tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be tomorrow. Everything be situated tomorrow. But I need today to go find these Negroes. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, yo. I tell you, boy, sometimes look, let me state this for the record, yo. I love black people, yo. I just despise what we've become, yo. What we've allowed Babylon to do to us. And granted, I think there was always some type of anointing or covering over my life. Because my daughter got this trait where she's very perceptive. Like, she knows stuff nobody's taught her. Or she just perceives stuff and don't even know how she know it. She just know it and know it to be true, and you can't convince her otherwise. You know what I'm saying? But like even where I grew up at, like, I seen brothers cutting, like, I can tell from the outside looking in, this ain't no genuine friendship. You're just attaching yourself to this dude because maybe they're in the in crowd, or maybe being with this person might give you, you know what I'm saying, the girls might look at you in a more favorable light or something like that. And I'm like, yo, all this is fake. But again, and I've been in some dangerous environments, primarily when I moved more to suburbia or whatever, and discovered, like smoking PCP was a thing, and like they was robbing folk and, you know what I'm saying, shooting and all that. And I'm in the midst of all this. Got first-hand accounts and knew it in real time and just didn't care. Here's my thing, and Most High forgive me. Somehow I knew, even if I had to repent for this when I figured out, and it made me real anxious. I was like, whoo, because I used to use the Most High's grace and mercy for granted or to my disposal. So I ain't gonna do nothing super spectacular that'll land me like 20 years. But if I do this, but so much gonna happen. Because I just somehow knew the Most High was going to protect me, yeah. And then I kind of got a little personal reputation in that particular environment for getting away with this or being bold enough to do that. But it wasn't even really so much that. I just knew ain't but so much going to happen. And if that ain't nothing I can't handle or he going to get me out of it. Now, as I've come full circle, now you ain't got to worry about that because I don't want to run his grace and mercy up because I had to been getting ready to spill over. Had to been. I'm trying to told you. I'm from a small town. I got a plethora of classmates who doing multiple, double-digit years in the feds for selling drugs. See, where I'm from, this is kind of like, it's Maryland, depending on how you look at it. It's more the rural agricultural side. But it is kind of slavery-ish to it. Like, it does have that spirit because Maryland did have slavery. Man, now, I was late to the game, and I ain't really no drug dealer because monkeys can't sell bananas. So, like when cats, like in the late 90s, was getting jammed up hustling, it was not uncommon. They say they laughed at guys from my area of Maryland in the state correctional system or whatever, because you would have guys from Baltimore, that metropolitan area, doing less time for attempted murder than somebody from where I'm from for $20 worth of crack. I've heard stories of this all over the Eastern Shore of somebody get jammed up selling, drugs or whatever. And then the judge is like, he like Caligula. It's his county. So he take it personally. You selling drugs in my county? And then doing that way where there was the mingling of, like, let's say the snow bunnies and they was getting high and coke, like powder cocaine real big here where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? That's how the bro was getting with the snow bunnies and, that kind of intermingling due to, the drug trade and all that. So he'll take it out on you. It's not uncommon. And I've heard a plethora of brothers tell these stories where he'll throw a tennis ball up in the air. And however many times that joint bounce, that's how many years you get. Or he style on you and tell you, go look outside and count how many black cars it is. And then your stupid self say 12. Bang the guy, but that's how many years you got. Get out my face. And then there's only one district, for the most part, there's only one district judge and one circuit court judge per county. So if you write an appeal, it's going right back to him. And he gonna remember how he styled on you. So that ain't going nowhere. So you gonna sit in that jump. Boy, they used to do us bad down here, bro. Bad, boy. And that's why, looking back on divine intervention, not even so much drug, but just like acts of violence and stuff like that. Because I got a situation where I got into a violent encounter with the police in Anne Arundel County. And that's why I stopped playing basketball, because I'm figuring from my reference point at the time, had I done that in the county I grew up in, I might have just now been getting out. Because I'm from a place where they like make example out you. Probably approximately, I would say probably about an hour going east into Delaware. The county seat of Sussex County, Delaware, in Georgetown, up until recently, they still had a whipping post in front of the courthouse. Now, of course, they wasn't using it, but that was like a historic, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? They still had a whipping post. Like, that was like almost back in like old England or something. You know what I mean? You get caught stealing a tomato, and then they, you get sentenced right there, and then they put you in a stop, that joint with your head and your arm and your wrist in that joint. And then they lash you like 39 times in front of, the town folk. And that's your punishment. Yeah, man. This joint old fashioned in the mud around here, yeah. But speaking of old fashioned, and by the grace of God, I used to think, right? Because I always felt like, even when I was younger, I contemplated my own existence. Like, why I'm here for a reason. There's a reason why I'm born where I'm born at. You know what I'm saying? So my Aunt Florence, right, the most, I don't even know what the word to call it, influential, there it is, the most influential woman during my upbringing, right? Because she worked for the Talbot County school system as a librarian. She did, I don't know, she might did that like 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? So she's known throughout the county. And she got a reputation in and of herself. Like, she don't play. But not in a like disrespectful type of way. She just, what she hitting for. You know where she stand at. So typically, because my mom worked for the state, so she took more of the lead on raising because she lived right next door. So she the one had me cutting grass, chopping wood. Like, you know how they say that critique of like men should pay all the bills and women ain't supposed to work and all that. Now, she was a strong woman, but she did submit to her husband. You know, cookie meal and all that. But she would get out there and trim hedges. She would get out there and cut the grass. And if I'm out here, you out here. I used to think, they had me and had me on purpose just for manual labor. I used to think I was a slave. And she the one made me read all these books about slavery. I told her that one time. Because I had no free time. Because I'm more the philosophical, imaginary thinking type. Ain't no, they understand idle mind don't workshop. You don't need no whole bunch of free time. This grass gotta get cut. You know what I'm saying? And you really the only and that's what made it even worse. You the only male of a certain age range around here, so all that fall on you. You know, back in the day, if you don't cook what they ate, you don't eat, but you will eat it when you get hungry enough. Back in the day where nobody, I mean, not necessarily don't care how you feel. It's not that they don't care how you feel. They just don't care about your opinion because you ain't been on earth long enough for your opinion to really be valid. You know what I'm saying? Like that type move. Like I be having to break my daughter out of because her mother let her tell her what she want to do. That's totally foreign to me. Tell grown folk what you want to do and where you is and ain't going? Huh? Man, ain't about to pay me no more. I'm from that old school mob back in the day where then let's say Sunday church, right? We would actually have, like after church, I know I ain't getting back in the house till evening. And we done left out about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You understand me? Because after church, then we come through the set. You know what I'm saying? Me and my own Florence, we coming through the set with the daily bread devotionals. Maybe it's like some little sweets or whatever plates they had. We get them to the town winos. You know what I mean? Chop it up with them. You know what I mean? She would tell them what they need. Not that like look down on you disrespectful way, but encouraging, the Lord got a call on your life type of way. You know what I'm saying? Then after we do that, then one of them old mothers, as they call them, then they call, now we got to stop by Safeway somewhere and get a rotisserie chicken and drop it round there. Then they got a chit chat. Oh, then since we over this side of town, she going to purse. She got a list of the sick and shut in. Now we got to go see them. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing but service. I think that's where the seed was planted of wanting to serve in the community, but not necessarily be a part of one of these 501c3s where they do a lot of stuff for image purposes, but they ain't really impacting nobody's life. They're not pouring into people. They not meeting people where they at. They probably can't relate to the people. You know what I'm saying? So I was brave for that. You know what I'm saying? Service. Like if you depressed or you feeling down, do something for somebody else. It'll get you out of self. You know what I'm saying? And I'm selfish as far as like my time, my peace, my energy. But I wanna give of the information, the knowledge, and experience, and the way I've understood it to be. I truly believe I can help if you want to be helped. But ultimately, you're gonna have to want to help yourself. Like I understood in this whole sobriety thing. Like I understood. I said, yo, this ain't gonna be no quick fix. This gonna be a long road. Yes, sir. So ain't no sense of getting all. And I got feeling like everybody else. That's what part of make you human. But something don't go my way. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I can't take it no more. Let me go get a drink. The vast majority of stuff don't go my way, or at least in my time. But there ain't no reason for me to F me up by doing something that at best, if I want to bamboozle y'all, kept me in mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm type brother. If I like doing something, I do it to death. And like Kevin Gates, don't get tired. So now I like this. I like valuing myself. So when you value yourself, you don't let people talk to you, treat you any kind of way. Don't mean necessarily you got to cuss them out and all that, or go across their chin piece. I just look at them real stupid and walk away. You know what I'm saying? Now sometimes, I notice something too. Sometimes when I'm on that tip, it's like, y'all want somebody to say something dumb, yeah. So I can tell them all about themselves, yeah. But then it never happened. But then when you're in a good space, you know what I'm saying? People, you go to the store, they staring at you and looking at you all crazy. You know what I'm saying? See, when you want some wreck, you can't get none. Then when you all right, everybody want food, they want to mess with you. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's just the spiritual aspect of, this reality in this matrix, yo. You know what I'm saying? But I think, everything that I've gone through, well, I don't think, I know this now, especially now having a greater understanding or clarity and revelation of the word. All that was for a reason. Like all that betrayal, all that whoop, whoop, whoop. If I don't go through all that, I might get bamboozled with people now. Like I just already understand that the average person I meet, at least they might not do it with other people, but if they meet me for some odd reason, they're going to try to BS me. Or they're going to try to, you know what I'm saying, hold me back or try to gaslight and do all this other stuff I've come to understand. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care like I'm no super duper Negro. Of course I want to be, you know what I'm saying, as far as impact and influence and on a positive sense. But I ain't no egotistical dude. Like I don't think, you know what I'm saying? But it's like for some odd reason, even if like that's why I pray. I'm like, I got to be somebody, Because I know we all kind of go through it if you check out my content. But I said, God damn, boy, everybody I meet that I let on the other side of the fence either betray me or try to, you know what I'm saying, get me to question myself, which is crazy when I think about the inversion of it. Like I had people who will come to me or graft themselves to me and I might let them, you know what I'm saying? Because, people tell me like I got a calming influence, or if you're quote unquote church, you might have some healing properties, or people feel safe in your presence or all that, you know what I'm saying? But then when they in there so long, like you end up by default turning a mirror on them and they see what they haven't worked on or what they're unwilling to work on or whatever the case may be. Or then they begin to envy your strength or whatever attribute you hold. And then the same people you helping will end up despising you. That makes no sense to me. I want to destroy or hinder or block the person who helped me when nobody else would. If that ain't spiritual deficiency, I don't know what is, bro. Let somebody offer assistance. Man, we homeboys for life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I want something to happen, but I hope you ask me so I can return a favor, so I can remind you and let you know how much I appreciate what you did for me. It might just been a word or whatever. It ain't got to be money or something super spectacular. Just treat, like, even when I was in the dregs of homelessness and destitution, right? I didn't, money and all that. You know what I wanted? I wanted somebody to acknowledge me as a human being, You know what I'm saying? Tell me you understand, cuz, and it's going to be all right, Even though I don't know how. Just tell me something like that, folks. You know what I'm saying? Very seldom did it happen. And in the rare instance it did, it was probably, sent by the Most High, or I entertained the angel unaware. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't really had nothing to talk about. I'm just on here just don't talk. I'm ready to get me some gas and whatnot. That's all I got. You know what I mean? But I'll leave you on this, because I try to end it with some type of message of encouragement or something to watch out for, be mindful of, knowledgeable of. Who made that song, Soul to Soul? Keep on moving. Don't stop like the hands of time. And on that note, I'm going to holler at y'all. One love. Ooh, ah.